So when I'm going on a photo shoot, there's a lot of gear I have to bring along. I have to bring along a tripod, my camera body, several lenses, batteries, battery charger, my ND filters, a whole bunch of equipment. And for a while, I used to try to cram all this equipment into one of those small type camera bags that often come for free with a camera. Or sometimes I would just pick up a normal backpack and fit that gear in there as neatly as I could with the goal of not damaging anything or losing anything. But after a while, I found that this messiness was slowing me down. It was hard to find stuff in there. And I just wanted a more organized system for my camera gear so I could operate quickly and efficiently, while also bringing along everything that I need. So what I found is a great option for this is this camera bag here from K&F. This camera bag is called the Beta Backpack, and it's a 20-liter camera bag. And 20 liters is kind of a good balance. I've seen bigger bags out there and tried them, but a lot of them are just too big for my needs. I don't need to have 50 or 80 liters when I'm just going on a photo shoot. So I found this 20-liter size is perfect for me. And what I like about this bag from K&F Concept, first of all, the price, it is less than $100, but it's very rugged and it is waterproof. You can kind of see that with the material on this here. It's got that nice waterproof shell around it. And it also comes with a little rain fly here that you can throw on top of it if it really gets wet. So you can cover this so no water gets into it. The water will just run down the side and off it. So K&F does offer several different colors for this bag. I have their black version of the backpack because I just like simple black, but they do have other colors. And they're great for those who want to customize the color of their backpack because there are quite a few options. In addition, this backpack has a lot of different compartments and a lot of customization options. I'm going to show you the inside of this and how I have my stuff in here in a moment. But I do want to mention that there's a lot of dividers that K&F provided that I haven't used yet. I may have a use for these someday, but there are lots of them that are not in use. But even with all of these here, I still have some in use. That's how many of these K&F provides. Plus, they're kind of fun. The Velcro, it's very strong. So I guess I have one of these big ones and then 4 of these smaller ones that are left over that I do not use currently. Before I get into the backpack, I will also show you down here. It's got this great system here at the bottom where you can hook on your tripod. And the tripod, it makes sense to have it on the outside because most tripods are waterproof anyway. Doesn't matter if they get wet. Then you don't have them taking up precious space inside your backpack. So I really like that design about it. And it's easy to get the tripod off. You just unbuckle these clips, which are adjustable. You can slide it out nice and easy. So let's take a look inside this backpack and see what I have in here. So first of all, what we're gonna do is we're gonna unclip this to open it. So these just slide off right here and the top lifts up. And there are a couple different ways of getting inside here. So first of all, I'm gonna show you this bottom side compartment right down here. And I'm gonna show you what I keep in here. So I'm gonna unzip this. And it unzips all the way around, basically 3 sides of the rectangle. Then when you open it up, there's a nice little SD card slot right here, where if you have any SD cards you want to keep in here, you can do that. In addition, there's also a battery pouch right here, which I do have one of the batteries for my Sony a7R II in here. I'm gonna put that back in there. And down here on the bottom is where I keep one of my very large telephoto lens. There is plenty of room in there to fit this lens. It's great to have that room. This is my Sigma 100 to 400 millimeter telephoto lens that I use with my Sony a7R II. I'm gonna put that back in. And in addition, on top here is where I keep my DJI Mini 3 Pro. So I keep the controller here, and then the actual drone body I keep in here as well. And of course, the DJI Mini 3 Pro is very tiny. It's that 249 gram drone, and it just kind of folds right up and fits in there nicely. So if I had some other larger lenses, I would probably keep that lens in here and not bring along my drone. But I do like to have the drone with me on photo shoot, as sometimes I like to take some pictures with the drone as well. Pop this back in here. We'll zip up this pouch. All right, so next we're gonna take a look in the top. So if I unzip it here, down in here, I have my Sony a7R II camera body right here. That fits very nicely in there. And I also have the Sony 85mm lens right here next to it. Now I could put this lens down in that bottom portion, but because the lens is not as large as telephoto, I find that it fits a little bit better up here. Kind of fits tightly in place, and it's not gonna go anywhere that way and potentially get damaged. So I like the fit for that. And like I said earlier, there's a lot of customizing you can do with this, which is great. As the camera equipment changes that I use, I can always customize this for how I need it. Then this big pouch back here, we've got a couple different things down in here. So in here is actually where I keep my SD cards and micro SD cards. I actually have a little case I keep those in. I don't like to keep them outside of a case when possible because I'm afraid they might get damaged. So I keep them inside a little hard shell case right here. And then I also have the battery charger for my Sony a7R II batteries. I've got that right here. And then down in here are a couple other pouches, which I do not have anything in currently, but I could have the batteries in there if I wanted to. But on my Sony a7R II, I actually have the extra add-on where I can have 2 batteries in the camera at once, so I do use that. But there is a nice additional pouch right here as well. And then down in here, depending on what I'm doing, I sometimes will just have my laptop in here. This can fit up to a 15.6-inch laptop. And I typically take my 14-inch MacBook Pro when I'm on the road, and that just fits nicely down in here. But right now, I have a few different things in here. I have this ND filter pack for the Mini 3 Pro from Freewell. And I love this mega pack. There are tons of ND filters in here, which are great for a lot of different use cases with that drone. And in addition, I also have 2 extra batteries for the Mini 3 Pro drone down in here. Again, if I'm not bringing my drone, I would just have these out of here so they're not taking up space. And of course, there's room for the 3rd battery, which is currently in the drone body. And then, of course, speaking of K&F, I also have my K&F ND filters down here, which those are important, especially if I'm doing video outside with a camera. I want to have that correct shutter speed rule. And this one is that Nano X series filter, which are really nice. And it's that variable ND2 all the way up to ND32, and it's true color, which is great. It doesn't mess with my colors. Everything looks great through this. Then I also have a power bank down in here, this one from Anker. That way, anything that I can charge with USB-C, those drone batteries, or a host of other things, I've got this pack right here, which holds a lot of power. I can charge a lot of things on one charge with this. Finally, I have this other small tripod here from Ulanzi. So sometimes if I'm bringing along an action camera like my DJI Action 3 or my GoPro Hero 11, which easily fits in this camera bag, obviously. I have this along too, because I often like to mount the action cameras on this. This technically will work for the camera as well. If I take off this action camera mount, there is a threaded screw there, but I like to have this along because it doesn't take up a lot of space. And if I'm using my carbon tripod down here from Sandmark, then I might want to have this one as well for an action camera. So if I have room, I like to pack that extra gear when possible. But yeah, as you can see here, there's plenty of room for a laptop all the way down in here. It can slide down nicely. And of course, you also can access the compartment above the telephoto lens. So if you look down in here, you can see the drone and the drone controller hiding down in there. So that is what I have in this camera bag. So there are a lot of different camera backpacks out there to choose from, but this one right here from K&F, I find to be the best value. It's less than $100, it's rugged, it holds everything I need without it being too big, it's waterproof, and it protects my gear in there. I have lots of options to customize to fit my gear. I could customize much further if I needed to. So I like it that K&F provides more than enough dividers. You don't have to buy more of them. They include plenty with it. You can really make this backpack work for your purposes. And by the way, sometimes when I'm not going on a photo shoot, but I need to bring a lot of gear, like all of my GoPro gear that I feature in this video above, I sometimes will use this backpack as well. It'll weigh a lot less without my huge 2-pound telephoto lens and camera and tripod on here, but it's good to have all that gear contained in one place like this. This is also a great size for traveling. If you want to carry on an airplane and you want to keep your camera gear close by and not have to check that baggage, this is also a great option for that. So if you don't currently own a camera backpack or you're looking for a new one, I definitely recommend checking out the K&F Concept 20-liter Beta Backpack. I've linked to it in the description below, so you can easily check it out.